Hi Gemini, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your astrological report for the month of June 2022. If you could please subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. So much has been happening. I don't need to tell you, we are in eclipse season, which thankfully we have now officially ended. The new moon occurred in your sign on May 30th, releasing the eclipse energy, although many will still feel the after effects, especially if they got impacted directly by either eclipse. There was a partial solar eclipse on April 30th at 10 degrees and 28 minutes of the fixed Earth sign of Taurus in your house of endings and dreams and the unconscious mind. And it was combined with Uranus, the planet of chaos and the unexpected. So there could have been unexpected revelations or hidden information uncovered. Eclipses already bring things to light and make us see things in a way we never have before. But there could have been unexpected opportunities too. I saw a lot of good things happen. I saw a lot of really painful and difficult things happen out of the blue because Uranus is really tricky. And then in the midst of eclipse season, Mercury retrograded in your sign on May 10th at 4 degrees and 50 minutes of Gemini. And that brought more information to be uncovered because Mercury loves being in Gemini and it is the planet of information. It re-entered Taurus on May 22nd and re-entered your house of dreams and the unconscious mind, paying attention to subliminal messages, whether it's your dreams or messages you're getting through songs or in other ways. And it will station direct on June 3rd at 26 degrees and 5 minutes of the fixed Earth sign of Taurus, triggering where that total lunar eclipse occurred on May 15th or May 16th, depending on where you live. There was a harsh and heavy total lunar eclipse in Scorpio that occurred at 25 degrees and 18 minutes of the fixed water sign of Scorpio. That occurred in your house of work and daily routine. There could have been major endings at the workplace, departures, challenges. Saturn was squared that eclipse, not an easy eclipse. So Mercury's setting that off, but on the following day, Saturn will station retrograde at 25 degrees and 15 minutes of the fixed air sign of Aquarius. The fellow air sign very harmonious with your own. We feel the energy of the station of Saturn 5 days before and 5 days after, and that emphasizes the characteristics, the limitations, the challenges. And Mercury squaring Saturn, setting off that eclipse, could feel like the glass is half empty, but it's really how can you work within restrictions to now proceed ahead. And the other big deal is that Jupiter, grand benefic, entered the Cardinal Fire sign of Aries on May 10th, the day that Mercury retrograded, and it entered your house of friends and groups and community. And it'll be there until October 28th of this year. It will return to Aries on December 20th. So this is expanding your social network, getting involved with community. Maybe you're getting involved with metaphysical groups. Aquarius, this is the new age of Aquarius, and that is the Aquarian house of the chart. Getting involved with others, maybe learning alternative ways of thinking, like astrology. And so that's a big deal, and brought a lot more fire to the sky, good and bad, more courage and passion, but unfortunately the shootings that occurred right around the eclipses and the wildfires, so expanding that part too. And Mars, the god of war, the planet of action and passion, entered the sign of Aries on May 24th, where it will transit till July 5th. And that's a new 2-year cycle, a lot of activity with friends and groups and networking. If you're trying to get a job and interview and make connections, this is a great opportunity with Mars and Jupiter transiting in that house. And if you're trying to meet new people or date or make new friends, also good emphasis, to do that. So we begin the month and Mercury stations direct on June 3rd at 4 o'clock a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 26 degrees and 5 minutes of the fixed Earth sign of Taurus in your house of dreams and spirituality. And that's the ruler of your sign. Now it's direct. That's good news. Following day, Saturn, the planet of karma and accountability and responsibility and hard work, retrogrades at 5:47 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 25 degrees and 15 minutes of the fixed air sign of Aquarius. We feel it 5 days before and 5 days after. And that can feel restrictive, but it also is about focusing on how you can anchor your learning. You can build, build new ideas. You can manifest more hope. Maybe you've been seeing things in a diminished way, and I know it's easy, but trying to find ways to anchor your being able to find optimism, learning, promoting yourself. If you have your own business and it's been hard to get the optimism to do so, you've got to work and fight to do so, because it's also the house of publicity and promotion. On June 6th, there's a good aspect in the sky. The sun forms a positive aspect to Chiron, the wounded healer, and this is good for you for healing with friends and community. And this occurs at 4:44 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. On June 10th, Mercury, which is the planet of communication and the ruler of your sign, forms a beautiful aspect to Pluto, the planet of transformation and empowerment, and that occurs at 5:21 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that is a very good energy for up-leveling your thinking and good for dealing with financial issues and for healing for you. On June 13th, Mercury changes signs and enters your sign at 11:27 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where it will transit until July 5th. And this is excellent. Mercury loves being in Gemini, and this is good for you for networking and socializing and maybe taking some small trips, or just getting out and about and feeling like you want to, just feeling curious and more optimistic. So that's good. On June 14th, there's a full moon that occurs at 7:52 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 23 degrees and 25 minutes of the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius. And this full moon occurs in your house of relationships and partnerships. Sagittarius is a lighthearted sign, but there could be some emotional issues with partnerships. Maybe you've been dating somebody for a while and it takes another level. Maybe there's a little hiccup, but it's not a challenging full moon. It's certainly not like that full moon on steroids in Scorpio, which is like really intense. So that's not so bad in my opinion. And then on June 16th, the sun forms a positive aspect to Saturn at 3:13 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Good for structuring your goals, good for promoting yourself, good for feeling centered. But at the same vein, the sun squares Neptune at, let's see, when does that happen? I forgot when it happens, but it happens. And that makes things more challenging, a little more dreamy. Neptune's transiting in your house of career and life goals, tapping into your imagination, but feeling centered with the Saturn help, the assistance of Saturn. And then on June 20th, Mercury, the planet of communication, forms a positive aspect to Jupiter, the luckiest planet, at 3:44 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's good for networking with friends, good for working with friends, meeting new people, but it's also good for feeling really optimistic and brainstorming. On June 21st, In the northern hemisphere, we have the summer solstice, when the sun is at the maximum declination above the celestial equator. And in the southern hemisphere, it's when the sun is at the lowest declination. And it's the beginning of the summer season in the northern hemisphere and the winter season in the southern hemisphere. And the sun stops in the sky for approximately 3 days. In Latin, sol means the sun, sistere, to stop. So it's a time of reflection of what the season ahead has in store. And the sun enters the cardinal water sign of Cancer at 5:14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where it will transit until July 2nd in your house of income and money and possessions and what you value, bringing light to that area, bringing more creativity, more ideas or optimism on how you can earn new ways of making money, find new ways of making money. And on that date, Venus, the planet of love and money, forms a beautiful aspect to Pluto, the planet of empowerment, at 4:23 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that is a very positive energy for up-leveling through love and beauty and creativity and feeling like you can have love and you can spread love too. This is about finding power. Love is the most powerful thing, you know. So that's a nice tone. And I cast the chart for the solstice, and it has Gemini ascendant, and I cast it for Washington, D.C. It has Gemini ascendant. Therefore, Mercury is the ruler of the chart. It's in its domicile in your sign of Gemini. It falls in the house of dreams and spirituality. A lot of emphasis in Aries, in the house of friends and groups in this chart. The moon is in Aries, conjunct Jupiter, the luckiest planet, finding optimism and expansion through finding your tribe and through connecting with others. This is the new age of Aquarius, so that's not surprising. And there's also a lot of emphasis on Taurus in the house of spirituality and love and creativity. And Venus is in Taurus in its domicile, conjunct the north node of Karma, going towards love. Uranus, the great awakener, is also conjunct the north node, finding new ways to come together and to merge souls together and to come together through love. So I think that this is a beautiful solstice, and finding courage and passion through community, not anger, but love. And so on June 22nd, Venus changes signs and enters your sign at 8:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where it will transit until July 17th. This brings more opportunities for you. It makes you extra magnetic. It's if you're single, it's great for your love life. It's just good for attracting love and positive energy to your life. Good for business. Good for fixing up your appearance if you choose to do so, and also good for making a good impression on others in your business life and in your social life. So that's a nice energy. On June 25th, Jupiter aspects the north node of Karma, and I feel that brings fated opportunities and connections, and for you could be financial opportunities, it could be creative opportunities with friends and groups. Pay attention to whom you meet and what comes up at that time. On June 27th, Mars, which is the planet of action, forms a helpful aspect to Saturn, the planet of structure, really getting things accomplished. And that is a really good energy. And that occurs at 6:29 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then on June 28th, a lot is happening. It's the second retrograde of the month. Neptune retrogrades in Pisces, also in the sign it rules, in its domicile, at 3:54 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, at 25 degrees and 27 minutes of the mutable water sign of Pisces. We feel that 5 days before and 5 days after. There could be a big fog that pervades the world at that time, make things seem a little confusing. For you, it may feel that there's confusion, perhaps professionally. Tap into your creativity. But again, we're going to feel the buildup, 5 days before, 5 days after. Some things could dissolve, secrets could get uncovered. But at the same vein, the sun squares Jupiter in the sky at 8:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That could be excessive, but it also could bring an optimism. And there's a new moon that day. That's very positive. And the new moon occurs at 10:52 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 7 degrees and 23 minutes of the cardinal water sign of Cancer, in your house of income and how you earn money and how you can be creative. So the new moon is always a time to set intentions and plant new seeds. And this new moon and the law of abundance, to bring in abundance into your life. And again, this could definitely bring financial and creative opportunities. And then the two benefics of the zodiac are in harmony. Venus, the planet of love and value and money, forms a beautiful sextile, which is an aspect of opportunity, to Jupiter, the planet of vision and expansion. And for you, Venus is in your sign and Jupiter's transiting in your house of friends and groups. So again, through community and through others, but also the house of wishes. I wish you a lot of luck, Gemini. We're out of the eclipse season and we're moving ahead, and a lot's coming to you. So I wish you good luck and thank you.